help us get started, I'll call a Nigerian story call, and you can come back. So if I do it, you do what you hear. Is that right? Can you do it? Yeah, okay, so. Fonge alafia.
Fonge alafia.
Ashe, ashe.
Ashe, ashe.
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 Thank you. Well, marvellous. You're marvellous. We thought there'd be a lot of children here, but we've got a wonderful boy over there called Oscar. And this is for Oscar and for everybody else. And I think storytellers might know this, but if you don't know this, it's something you can go home and tell if you've got any little children or anything like that or whatever. It's quite easy. So, shall we sit down or stand up?
Should we stand?
Yeah, okay. So, this is Mr. Wiggle. Can you show me Mr. Wiggle? And this is the door to Mr. Wiggle's house. Mr. Wiggle went inside his house. Whoop, whoop. He closed the door. He was fast asleep. But when he woke up, he opened the door. He came out. Whoop, whoop. He closed the door. And he said, I'm going to see my friend Mr. Waggle. What did he say?
I'm going to see my friend Mr. Waggle.
So he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. And when he got to Mr. Waggle's house, Mr. Waggle was inside his house, fast asleep. So he said, Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle. What did he say?
Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle.
But Mr. Waggle didn't wake up, so he had to go knock, knock, knock. What did he do?
Knock.
Did Mr. Waggle wake up?
No.
So once more he went.
Mr. Waggle.
And once more he went.
Knock, knock, knock.
Did he wake up?
No.
So once more he went.
Knock, knock, knock.
And you want him to do something else, don't you? So shall we do that? He went, Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle, Mr. Waggle. Well, nothing woke him up, so he went home. He went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. When he got home, he was tired out, so he opened the door. He went inside. He closed the door. And he went to sleep. Just at that moment, Mr. Waggle woke up, and he opened his door. He came out of the house. He closed the door. And he said, you know what he said? I'm going to see my friend Mr.
Wiggle.
And so he went, you know this, up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. And when he got there, Mr. Wiggle was fast asleep. So he said, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle. What did he say?
Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle, Mr. Wiggle.
Mr. Wiggle didn't wake up, so he went.
Knock, 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 knock.
Did Mr. Wiggle wake up?
No.
So again he went.
Knock, knock, knock.
Did he wake up?
No.
So one last time he went.
Knock, knock, knock.
And he wasn't as extrovert as Mr. Wiggle, so he went home. And he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. And when he got home, he was tired out. He opened the door. He went inside. He closed the door. And he went to sleep. Next day, Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle woke up at the same time. They came out of their house at the same time. They opened the door at the same time. Came out of the house at the same time. They closed the door at the same time. Mr. Wiggle said, I'm going to see my friend Mr. Waggle. And Mr. Waggle said,
I'm going to see my friend Mr. Wiggle.
So they both set up. They went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down. Oh, hello, Mr. Waggle. Hello, Mr. Wiggle. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Give me a hug. Okay. Hug, 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 hug. Or hug, 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 hug. I was going to invite you to my house for tea. Well, would you believe that? I was going to invite you to my house for tea. I tell you what, said Mr. Wiggle to Mr. Waggle, why don't you come to my house at 4 o'clock this afternoon and we'll have lovely tea. Okay, do that. Give us a hug. Okay, hug, 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 hug. Let's have a hug. Come on, let's have a hug. Hug, 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 hug. And they set off home. Up the hill and down the hill. And up the hill and down the hill. And up the hill and down the hill. When they got home, they were tired out. They opened the door. They went inside. Ooh, they closed the door. And they dreamed about the best possible tea they could eat and drink and consume. And what do you like for your tea?
Smoked salmon and cream cheese sandwiches.
What does Rue like for Rue's tea?
Anything.
Anything. I noticed Rue's been eating anything. What do you like for your tea?
Fish and chips.
Oh, what about you, LGBTQIQIAQI plus person? Wonderful.
Macaroni cheese.
Oh, and that's what they had. Thank you very much. Would you like to do something, or shall we move on and do something later? You want to do something?
Shall we move? We can move on, or I can do now. It's your call.
Do now.
Shall we do?
I don't know.
Do we want a story or?
What would you like? A story?
We would.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do a
Story? Well, we've had Mr. Wiggle, haven't we? So,
Yeah.
okay. This is James Little.
Hello.
Hello.
I've taken my hat off because the story needs that. So we're all a little bit warmed up now. So I think we're going to test their voices a little bit more. Yes? So we're going to do a bit more of a song into a story. And the song goes like this. Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay.
Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay.
This is the time to get away.
This is the time to get away.
Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay.
Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay.
Surely we'll get there by midday.
Surely we'll get there by midday.
All together. Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay. This is the time to get away. Row, row your boat to Hokkien Bay. Surely we'll get there by midday. But the lady was not going to Hokkien Bay. She could see the boats in the distance, bobbing along gently. She was walking down the riverbank to the river to fetch some water for her house. To do so, she had 2 pots. They were like this sort of shaped pots. One in this arm, and another one in this arm. And they were attached together with a pole and some string. And she held them like this, walking down the riverbank, and she got to the river, and she filled them up with water. And once they were both filled up, back on the back they went, a little bit heavier now, and up the steep riverbank to her house, where she put the pots down and went to bed. You're no good. You've got a big hole, and all the water drip, 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 drips out. You're rubbish. You're not a very good pot at all. You should be thrown away, smashed, destroyed. I'm no good. I'm useless. I should be thrown away, smashed, destroyed. The next morning the lady came down. What's wrong, little pot? I'm no good. I'm useless. You should throw me away. You should destroy me. I'm no good for anything. Look, Pot, you come with me today, just you, and you'll see. So she took the one pot, put it under her arm, and headed down the riverbank towards the river. And when she got there, she put the pot down. What did you see, Pot? I saw grass, and stones, and gravel, and nothing much really. Okay. And she filled that pot with water. placed it under her arm, and walked back up the riverbank to her house. And there she put the pot down again. What did you see, little pot? I saw so much. I saw flowers of so many colours. There was blue ones and red ones and brown ones and green ones and black ones and big ones. There was these big flowers and small flowers, and they were so beautiful, and they were all down the riverbank. Well, Pot, that was down to you. I always knew about your crack and that the water dripped out. So I planted seeds all along the riverbank, and every day you water those flowers, you help them grow. You bring something to my life I didn't have before. You bring beauty. Don't listen to the other pot, that pot calling you names. Don't listen to him, because you are special, just the way you are.